basically, you don't need to be like anybody else. Do the camera settings that work for you, how you like it. For me, this is nice. We're giving old school YouTube sit down girl talk, girl time, and I love it. Alrighty, hey guys, it's MIKAYLALORI. I know it's been a while and my face is back on camera. For those that have been rocking with me since 2017, thank you. I appreciate the support and all the encouragement. You guys definitely make me miss interacting and, just putting myself out there. But when protocol calls, you answer that call. And I just want to update you guys that I have been under immense spiritual warfare. And that's going to be our first topic today. Spiritual warfare, what it is, how do you identify it, what do you do about it, how do you know when it's happening, those types of things. So let's get into it. This is not by any means a religious channel. It's never been that. It's never going to be that. And I say that proudly because I do service and cater to all walks of life. My religion is love. Love is God. God is love. I see me look down. It's because I do have my phone. I'm going to be reading some from my notes. And we're going to start with what is spiritual warfare. So spiritual warfare refers to the concept in various religious beliefs that there is a struggle or conflict between spiritual forces, good and evil, which we'll get into that in more videos, light and darkness, or positive and negative energies. It often involves practices aimed at combating or overcoming negative spiritual influences, such as prayer, meditation, rituals, and other forms of spiritual discipline. Different religious traditions may have their own interpretations and approaches to spiritual warfare. And I do just want to start this video by saying I am by no means religious, okay? I grew up a non-denominational Christian with a bishop for a father and a first lady as a mom. So I don't get into that. And the reason is because wickedness does happen in high places, and I am able to help you guys because I had to go through it. And with that, I have ultimately made the decision to separate myself from religion. I do identify as spiritual, and this is pretty much the basis of the video. And when it comes to identifying spiritual warfare, you have to know yourself. You have to know the basis of your authenticity in order to see that the warfare is going on. So identifying spiritual warfare in your life typically involves recognizing patterns of negative thoughts, emotions, or behaviors that seem to be beyond ordinary challenges. And as far as any mental issues go, I am not a licensed professional. Nothing that I say here should ever substitute for medical or professional advice. I do encourage you guys to get the help that you need. Check in with your psychiatrist, psychologist, just your doctors, okay? But moving on, a lot of the signs that come with spiritual warfare includes feelings of heaviness, persistent feelings of fear, doubt, or confusion, sudden conflicts in relationships, or experiencing unexplained obstacles in your personal growth or spiritual practices. Reflecting on these experiences and seeking guidance from trusted spiritual mentors or advisors can help you discern whether spiritual warfare may be at play. And when we say spiritual mentors, that can be anyone from a pastor, a priest, a counselor. Some people like to seek out psychics or other spiritual advisors. So just by definition, anybody who has a little bit more insight than you could be a mentor or someone that is trusted within your community. And if you're being spiritually attacked, what do? You just succumb to it? No, you don't back down, okay? And this is where you have to know yourself. So personally, I'm not a sad person. If you know me, I get up, I'm pretty bubbly, life of the party. I love to laugh. My laugh is contagious. I'm very joyous. And when I started to realize spiritual warfare was at play, I could not identify it, but I did realize that things were off personally. I don't want to talk to the people who I normally want to talk to. I'd rather spend my time alone. And when I say alone, it's not just like this. I don't want to talk. I don't want to text. I don't want to see anybody. I don't want to go outside. It's not it for me at that moment. So knowing myself, like I said, someone who's outgoing, sociable, I love people. I can talk to anybody. I can make conversations. So I was able to pick that up. But I I gave in to those lower vibrational feelings of, and excuse my language, this is not a channel that is super clean. Again, I'm not religious. I do curse, I do cuss, and we're just gonna keep it cute. But when you get in those modes and you're like, F everybody, fuck everybody, spiritual warfare, if that's not you, Let's make that clear. You have to know yourself to be able to identify when spiritual warfare is going on. Is the
How can you
definition.
protect yourself?
Boom. So a ritual is a ceremonial act or series of actions performed in a prescribed manner, often with symbolic significance to convey reverence, express beliefs, mark important events or transitions, or invoke spiritual or supernatural forces. Rituals can be religious, cultural, or personal in nature, and they're often repeated with specific gestures, words, or symbols to create a sense of order, meaning, and connection to the sacred or the tradition. As to use a logic, it's 2024. Demonic. Paired with a prayer, demonic. Paired with a prayer, demonic. Think about it. I'm not here to coerce anybody or have you believing in things that you don't. If you don't resonate with what I'm saying, feel free to go, okay? This is your chance. I'm gonna count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But with that being said, yeah, don't let people get in your head. You can ritualize anything that you want to do. Going to the gym at 6 a.m. Monday through Friday is a ritual, okay? Just use your noggins. Setting boundaries is another thing you can do to protect yourself from topic. I rebuke that spirit of forgetfulness. I was mid-sentence and that slipped. A lot of us hear ritual and think, oh my gosh, demons, spooky, boo-hoo, chanting, incantation, seance. No, okay? A ritual can be something as simple as getting up every morning. Wow. She's performing a ritual in front of us. Yes, it's really that simple. Okay, so this is Palo Santos, and there are different tools and means of purifying your space and your energy, and also warding off, negative entities that come to disrupt your space. When I go out and I drive, I like to keep things like this on me because you never know when you got to knock it off. You never know, okay? But personally, and I will share this with you guys, I like to, in the mornings, my preferred method, whether sage, Palo Santos, I can even do this with water. I like to say a Psalms, and Psalms 91 is good for anybody. He who dwells in the shelter of the Most High will abide in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say to the Lord, my God, you're my refuge, my shelter, my fortress, in whom I trust, okay? You have to stand in firm beliefs knowing that God is your shield. There is nobody above him, not a practitioner, not a witch, not nobody, okay? So when we get these things and we're calling them rituals, we are ritualizing our faith in God. It's repetitive. I was gonna end the video, and then I thought to myself, how could I skip this? I need to let you guys know that there are organizations and there are people who dedicate their time, our government, CIA, the FBI, local police departments, that they have sectors who work, whether individually or as groups, to come up against people who naturally are gifted spiritually and those who occupy religious spaces. When you want to vibrate up here, we are in a world that is ruled by principalities and people who do dark things. And this is not to incite fear in anybody, but you need to understand that you are stronger than them just off of the fact that they're trying to destroy you. If you weren't anybody, if you weren't powerful, if you didn't have something inside of you, they wouldn't have these cults, they wouldn't have these organizations that actually dedicate their time to attacking whole entire groups globally. It doesn't have to be one significant person. Oftentimes it is, but they do attacks in groups. So You might see discord and chaos amongst a spiritual group, and that's because they are going to attack people who are supposed to be kindred spirits to you in order to divide. The enemy always wants to divide. Where people are not coming together to bring reverence to God, that's what they want. So um don't think it can't be you. Don't think it doesn't go on right under your noses. And this is where you pray and ask God for the ears, the eyes, and the mind to see what's going on around you. It is a practice. It takes time, but you have to stay the course. I cannot stress this enough. Staying the course is what your life depends on. I do touch on this online. I might enter some screenshots, and my username is the same on all of my platforms, MIKAYLALORI. Go out and see, what I chat about, especially on X. I think I am going to dedicate that platform to really speaking about spiritual warfare and, how to overcome it. But that gets better with time. It does get better with time. That's just in a loop in my head. But check me out on Twitter. I'm here at MIKAYLALORI. I love when that little thing happens. But it's important to be cautious and discerning when dealing with individuals who claim to have unique insights or spiritual knowledge. Trust your instincts and do your due diligence before getting involved with anyone who makes grandiose claims. Safety should always be a top priority. It's wise to recognize that people can oftentimes and do have multifaceted intentions. Information can be valuable, but always assess the source and their motivations to ensure it aligns with your best interests. And again, like I said in the beginning, you have to know yourself and have a standard so that you're able to compare apples and oranges when it comes to seeking guidance and support within the spiritual world. Protect your energy and your interests while being open to positive interactions. Experienced individuals can leverage information to their benefit, so it's important to exercise discernment and not be easily swayed by appearances. Staying well informed and maintaining a critical perspective is crucial when navigating spiritual or any form of guidance, okay? Consider this. Individuals who possess various spiritual gifts such as clairvoyance, clairaudience, or other abilities may not share the same spiritual alignment as you. And if you're unsure about what I mean by that, think of a prophet, a prophetess, an evangelist, or someone within a church who can see with their eyes. They may not align with me, who identifies as a spiritual advisor, because they don't know what I do. So you have to have a personal understanding of what you're okay with and what you align with in order to tell the difference, because the source of information that resonates with one person can conflict with another person's energy without necessarily invalidating the presented information. And that's the key. In the realm of spirituality and metaphysical abilities, you have to learn to acknowledge people with diverse spiritual gifts and know that they may not share the same alignment or connection to the divine or higher powers. Spirituality is and can be deeply personal, like I said earlier, and shaped by individual experiences and belief. So you really, really have to be careful who you're getting your information from. I cannot stress this enough, okay? And if you don't, you will learn the hard way. And I do not want my followers, my tribe, to learn the hard way, although I'm sure most of us have, but you don't have to go through that if you are just getting into your journey. So this is just a reminder to approach spiritual teachings and occult information with an open mind, understanding that there are various perspectives and sources of knowledge. Seek to find commonalities that resonate and align with and create your own unique journey. Your relationship with God is up to you, okay? Separate knowledge from the image and character of the messenger. Focusing solely on the messenger can lead to distractions and interference with your energy and your spiritual progress, which sometimes is needed, but if you can avoid it, avoid it. So evaluate value and relevance to your journey. Avoid potential pitfalls associated with the messenger's influence. It's easy to see someone that has 10K followers and whole bunch of reposts, likes, comments, and think, oh yeah, they know what they're talking about. But it's not always that easy. Avoid succumbing to coercion or verbal bullying that questions the way that you behave, express yourself, or think. On the internet, especially, it's common for people to impose their view of what's right or wrong, but prioritize being in alignment with your true self before anything else. It's okay to hear something and do your own research, and if based on doing your own research you want to change that belief, that is okay, but don't just do it because the next person said so. If I told you, okay, it's not good to pray in the morning, would you just believe that? Okay. Moving on. Don't underestimate anybody's ability to manipulate thoughts and use abstract statements. And what I mean by abstract statements are general statements that can apply and to multiple people at once, okay? Don't let them use abstract statements and contemplations to affect your psyche. Even if 10 people agree that the sky is green, the one person who speaks the truth that the sky is blue, they're going to be seen as an adversary more than likely. So you have to be able to stand your ground and know what your truth is, align with it, so you don't get easily swindled, okay? Elitism in spirituality is widespread. Some individuals unknowingly get caught up in it due to a desire for acceptance and a sense of belonging. And while this is a normal human inclination, you have to question whether it's morally right. Who are you seeking guidance from, and why are you seeking guidance from? Which goes back to knowing yourself and your purpose. You have to know what you're looking for, because just going out into the spiritual world with an open mind and an open heart, you open yourself up to a lot, okay? To be spiritual is to be vulnerable, okay? Vulnerability is what allows us to learn and grow. When we are vulnerable in the eyes of God, that is something that's rewarded. But the enemy will trick you, okay? And he's going to do it through people you think that you can trust because you saw them say something and you said, wow, that sounds good. And so now you're following them. But who are they? What do they align with? What is their true motive, okay? You can take something that resonates with you, you can apply it, you can use it, and you can disengage from the messenger altogether. So exercise caution when encountering individuals who adopt condescending or antagonistic tones when they present themselves as a spiritual teacher or a spiritual guide. This could be a pastor, like I said, this could be a psychic, this could be anybody, okay? Certain emotional responses can be valid for breaking free from negative programming, yet some people, they seek to gain followers for their own personal development in their ego, which means that they're going to speak in ways that undermine those who haven't reached their level of resonance, which when you're vulnerable, you might not see it that way. You might think that you're being challenged to rise to the occasion, but that's not what's really going on. So you really have to learn to discern between genuine guidance and ego-driven manipulation that is meant to fulfill personal agendas. Manipulative individuals often create a dynamic where they present as the sole source of wisdom and guidance. They may claim that their knowledge is beyond what most can comprehend or attain, and that only those who have reached a certain level in their journey can understand. And this kind of exclusivity, it often leads people who want to follow them, or people that are considering, joining their communities, they feel inadequate or they feel inferior. And when that happens, it creates a sense of dependence on the mentor for approval and validation. So it's like you want to check in with that person. Hey, is this the right thing? Did I do this right? Cut the middleman, okay? We don't do that here. When personal growth becomes entangled with the mentor's ego, it becomes challenging for an individual to differentiate their genuine spiritual progress from the mentor's self-serving agenda. And again, I grew up in the church. I've seen this, and it's my parents' church, and I'm not attacking them in any way, but I've seen where people feed into the person and their character, oftentimes their ego, and it goes down from there, okay? Separate yourself from the individual and get yourself rooted and invested in God. It's the best investment you will make for yourself. Learn to trust yourself. Trusting yourself is trusting God, okay? And if you're confused, you pray for clarity, you ask for discernment, but don't make it a habit to rely on other people. And this is not to say that you cannot learn from other people, but you have to know where you stand, where they stand, and where you want to be with God. I need to charge this laptop, so I'm going to make this really, really quick. So yeah, try looking for mentors who promote empowerment, personal growth, and self-awareness rather than those who look like they're trying to foster some kind of dependency. And dependency, again, looks like claiming exclusive knowledge, discrediting other paths, using emotional manipulation, promising salvation or breakthrough, encouraging isolation, financial dependency, and you will see people that strive to gain finances outside of the church. And I'm not telling anyone not to give their tithes or be a part of a community that they trust, but you have to be careful when it comes to your finances, okay? Anybody who's discouraging critical thinking is not someone that you want to follow. And anyone who you start to see is creating like a cult-like environment without your immediate approval, you want to watch out for them. Anyone who's implying personal flaws and, hey, if you buy this course, you'll get access to this. Be careful of those people. They might even dismiss or undermine alternative spiritual paths or teachings that can make people believe that there's only one true way, which is under the guidance of them, the spiritual leader, or those that are in close proximity or networks. And you will realize, especially in the spiritual community, that a lot of us do know each other. So you want to steer clear of the people who encourage you to go only one route or, hey, go to this person or that person. Do your own research, okay? So I'm gonna wrap that up because it is quite a bit. I am going to plug my social medias in so you guys can read about that, but feel free to drop any questions, comments that you would like me to talk about, and you don't have to do it publicly. Again, my social media platforms are all the same all across, MIKAYLALORI. So if you want to shoot me a DM, or my email is there to contact, we can always go that route. But I'm going to end this message out with love, love, love. If you got this far, thank you for listening. I appreciate you. And what you wish for me, may it happen for and to you. How you feel about that is contingent on what you're wishing for me. So keep your mind clear, keep your heart clear, especially when it comes to me, because I am setting the intent that may it come back tenfold. And with that being said, I send you guys lots of light. I'm sending you guys extra love in this season. And on this day, what day is today? February 19th. We are still feeling the love vibes, which should be every day. But I hope that you guys are staying encouraged, stay blessed, and I love you. Bye.
Turn that up, Ricky. Say this shit hard.
Kanye, well, you're my whole world. What do you want to do? Drive me to a madhouse?
Oh, I'll call you a taxi.
If I'm